Did he say how long he was going to be?
No, not yet. Shouldn't be long.
Okay. He's not far from here though. Like, come on now.
Yeah. Well.
You know. Is Mike okay? Everything all perfect. Thank you.
Come in.
Hello, gentlemen.
Afternoon.
Traffic was there?
Yeah, we just wanted to get some words with you guys in the same room at the same time ahead of your match in November. See where you're both at. If you're ready.
Well, why don't you tell me where you're at, since you want to strong and late. I can make the time quicker. Yeah. Okay. Well, personally, I'm excited because I think I had him beat a month ago. He took a coward's way out, and then he's continued to do so since. He's held the belt for a long time. He's not a bad wrestler. I'm not going to disparage that.
421 days.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you, keeping count.
I'm keeping count.
Good stuff. Not for much longer though. How many days between now and 26th of November?
I don't know.
Should probably count that one as well, because that'll be the
I'm
end.
just living in the now.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so
You should probably think about living in the now.
I'm living great, Spike. I'm living great. I've got you cooked November 26th. Easy.
This is probably as high as it's going to get for you.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I think you should probably
How so?
just really savour this moment.
How so? Why is this the highest I'll peak?
You know, you've really impressed me. And I know you don't need me to say that.
Yeah.
You don't need me to be impressed with you. It doesn't mean anything to you that I would be impressed with you.
I'm sorry.
But you really have. You know, I really didn't think that we were going to be in this position. I didn't think we were going to be doing this again. And I honestly didn't think that you were going to make the Progress faithful really love you the way that they have. You know, I really did not think that was going to happen. And it's not because I don't think much of you. I just didn't think there could be anybody on this roster who the fans could love as much as they hate me.
It's about you, okay. Bit backhanded. Nice, well done. I will agree with you though, Spike, I will agree with you. I didn't think we'd be in this position either.
No.
Because I thought I'd be at the Progress top of the mountain a long time ago. Mm. I was already at the pinnacle
you were, yeah.
a few times, and yeah, obviously things happen. Can't be helped. Injuries occur, but you know, spots then get opened up, and you know, sometimes cheap people fill spots quite well, don't they?
They fill them perfectly.
Ah, I see.
Mm-hmm. They fill them perfectly.
You clearly, you've done very well for yourself. But again, I had you beat last month.
Well, you didn't have me beat, did you? You can say that if you want. You can say that to the world, that you had me beat, that I did things that were not okay or things weren't questionable. But it didn't break any rules.
Yeah.
When I actually pinned you, I didn't break any rules. There's nothing that says I can't pull that mask off.
Yeah. Well, this is where you are lucky though. So like, if we want to get into it, like obviously, the other day he brought up mask versus title. That's why we're all here. Lucha De Apuesta. It's a Mexican tradition. And if he wants to bring tradition into it, you know, he's very lucky, because if this was Mexico, like, you're trying to bring in the tradition and the heritage of, to DQ for taking the mask off. Again, another loss for you. I had you beaten. You're just lucky for the circumstances we're in.
Did you just what? Did you just say that? Well, if this was in another country under a different set of rules.
I'm just bringing the circumstances in it. You want to bring up Lucha De Apuestas? Let's bring up.
What are you talking about?
Spike, you did remove the mask at the end of the match. Was that just something you did in the moment, or Lykos, you seem to be suggesting that he maybe doesn't understand what that means.
Maybe doesn't understand how disrespectful it really is. It's fine. You can white face paint off someone all you want, but this is a thing built on hundreds of years of heritage around the world. Just because we're here doesn't make it any different. But you don't have much respect, do you?
You know, I have to really think about that. Because I do objectively really love this. Okay, and I think what we can do is try and find some common ground.
Okay, please.
Because we're completely different.
Yeah.
We don't think much of each other as people.
No.
And we can agree on that, and that's common ground. But there is common ground in that we both objectively love this. We love this.
Yeah.
We've given our lives to this.
Mm-hmm.
We move only in circles that are inside this sport. Yours is a little bit more dense than mine, as you like to say. But we are bonded by the fact that we love this.
Okay.
So when you have to ask me, so not you have to, but when you ask me that I don't have much respect, I do have to really, really think about it. Because I do respect the traditions of this sport. But what I did is objectively a mark of disrespect.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
So I think I have to then have a real think about what it is that I don't respect. And I think the answer is just you.
Okay.
Because I think people don't know this. You know, people don't know this, but we've known each other on and off for years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you are right, you know, when you came in to Progress, you came straight in to a top position. I was still struggling for a position, you know. Within a year's time, you were having ladder matches in Ali Pali, and I was still doing the dark match.
Yeah.
And I understand that. There is a pedigree that you have. There is a pedigree.
Nice.
There is a pedigree
Well done.
that you have
Yeah, cool.
in this industry that I don't have, or that I didn't have.
Okay.
And you know what? I travelled all across this country and watched you and your friends dominate locker rooms. Sit in the middle of locker rooms, dominate the main table, dominate the ring time, dominate everything, dominate social media, dominate other people's feelings, dominate this industry and actually hand nothing to anybody else, not look at anybody else, not try to help anybody else that wasn't in your circle.
I see.
Not try to be there for anybody else that wasn't your mate. Because nobody in this industry is good unless they're your friend,
I see.
are they? And so, really, I think I would like to invite you to maybe just have a think about where that disrespect comes from. Because maybe an act of disrespect that comes from me is simply a mirror of disrespect that has originally come from you, and actually a whole camp that you were from. And now that camp has gone, and you're here, you're the leader of your camp now. They've all gone to do bigger and better things, and I congratulate them. Maybe you would be with them if it wasn't for your injury, who knows? But the fact is that you're not. The fact is that you are here, across from me, and you are hotter now than you have ever been. But you would never be like that if it wasn't for me. There is no hashtag for everyone without the vulture. And until you understand that, until you're willing to put that out there, then frankly, I think you're fighting a losing battle.
A few things I want to hit on that.
Yeah, go on then.
Well, first we'll go reverse. We'll reverse engineer this. No for everyone without the vulture. Disagree completely. I think for everyone started when I finally started to make amends with people, when the Sunshine Machine bested myself and Kid Lykos too. Mm-hmm. And I can admit that they're the best team in the country at that point.
Agreed.
I can admit that Warren Banks was a better wrestler than me in January on Manchester's Progress, but you're not involved in any of those moments.
No, I'm not.
You're not even involved in Strong Style. It's a tournament that sold tickets for the ballroom 2 days on the go, sold out the dome, and you weren't even a big deal there. One match the whole weekend. Well done, man. Great stuff. And this is, I'm not going to knock you. Again, fair enough, one match the weekend. You are still a fighting champion. And I'm not going to knock the things you've done. You've won the belt.
Thank you.
By whatever it means. But you've held on to it for this long for good reason.
421 days.
Yes, okay. We get it. It's fine. You've held on to it for good reason. Because you are a good professional wrestler. Now. So let's talk about, he wants to talk about locker rooms and dominating. No one's successful unless they're in my circle. It sounds like sour grapes because the reason my circle's so dense is because it grows. People join because they find their way in. And that they're not starting there. They find their success first and we just bond over common interests or anything. But the difference is, when Aussie Open first came over, they weren't getting bookings, but who offered to drive them to help get them on Hope Wrestling or random other shows? Me and Chris Brooks. Other wrestlers getting successful goes at Attack or all sorts of other promotions came from me, Chris, Pete, any of them pushing for them. It didn't come from being friends with them first. Wrestling came first because we were, as you said, we're all bonded by this. Friendship came later, but the problem with what you said is we're dominating locker room, dominating feelings. It's just that you were never good. So there was no bonding over wrestling because there was no level of respect for your wrestling at the time. There's a reason people like Chuck Mambo escaped the mid-card before you. They were good at what they did. And you were a glorified boy, and that's coming from me at my size then. Glorified boy, hanging on to his hair, hanging on to this idea that he could be a successful wrestler at the time. And you were just bad. And that's fine, because you're very good now. But all this talk about the disrespect comes from this, you have to be friends with me to be in this circle, this successful circle. No. All I care about is if you can go in the ring. We can bond after. And that's how I've made friends. That's how I met Luke Jacobs. That's how I even discovered Kid Lykos too, who bonded over wrestling. And you have sat there, not bonding with anyone, bitter at your lack of success, when really just because you weren't ready. And now, again, you're at the pinnacle, great. But I'm still better than you. Have been for years, doesn't change. You've gotten better, but so have I. That's why I've held a job everywhere in this industry. It's why I've been to Japan. Have you been to Japan, sorry? No, sorry. Have you been to Mexico? Oh, sorry, yeah. Or America? America? He's in America? Oh, it's a shame that. So you're champion on this island, but I've been everywhere because I'm that good.
How long have you been wrestling?
My first training session was in 2007. My first match was in 2007.
Okay. I didn't ask for a history lesson. How long have you been wrestling? How many years have you been wrestling?
That makes it 16 years.
How many titles have you held in that time? Not tag titles. How many singles championships of major British promotions have you held?
Okay. If we're playing that game, we're playing major British promotions.
Any promotion, actually, any promotion. How many singles championships have you held in this country, or at all, that wasn't you being bonded to another person? Because I've been wrestling half the time that you have, and I've won 6, 7, 8 times many of those titles as you, and I did it on my own.
I've had a handful of titles too, but we can all talk about the list of singles. But let's talk about what you said then. Major promotions, okay? Fair enough. It's 1-0 there for you and me. But bear in mind, this is the first opportunity I've had to get to this summit. You had quite a few, no? Took you a few chances, and it took a key cash in and a bottle to win the title. So that's not getting there on skill anyway. Retaining it,
Depends
sure.
what you think skill is.
Retaining it on skill.
Depends what you think skill is.
No, it's pay to win the way you're doing it.
That's a skill.
It's a benefit. The difference is some people actually have to work hard for this. I'm not saying, again, since having the belt, you haven't worked hard, but to get there, you took the easy way out. And that's the problem with Spike, as I've said already. Takes coward's way out quite a lot. He's tears the mask off because he knows he can't physically beat me in a wrestling match. He takes a cheap way out. He tries to throw ridiculous things at me like a street fight with the Smoking Aces when I haven't even got wrestling gear. And I'll still, because of my friends that I'm tied to.
Will you stop going on about your friends?
Okay.
Will you stop bringing in your friends to this? Everyone welcome. Stop. Let's go through your friends.
Okay.
Let's go through your friends. Driller Maloney, face me for the belt. Beat him. Luke Jacobs, beat him. Doris, beat him. Other people from other promotions, Gene Money, beat him. Warren Banks, last time I wrestled him, beat him. Lykos 2, beat him. Ethan Allen, beat him twice. Chris Ridgway, beat him. You may have all these friends, but there's one hurdle that none of them have accomplished, and that's me. Every single person from your circle that has ever stepped in the ring with me walked out with nothing. Now, you can put that down to benefit, you can put it down to skill, or you can just put it down to what the result was. And the result was, I walked away with the win, they walked away with nothing. So you can hang on their coattails as much as you want, but you're going to have to do this on your own. And something tells me that you're not going to end up anywhere near what they did. And they ended up with nothing. So you can hang around so you can do this whole everyone, whatever it is. You can do this hashtag for everybody. You can do all of that kind of stuff. You can bring up your friends. And those fans, they're not your friends. They were booing you 10 months ago. They are fickle. Trust me, they are fickle. And every single one of your friends has stepped in the ring with me, and every single one of them have left with nothing. Nothing.
It's fine, Spike. That's fine.
This isn't about them. This is about you and me, and this is about
But if
this
it's about me,
and
if
this.
it's about you and me, I'll be the difference maker then. You can say about my friends, everyone's walked out with nothing. I won't.
Well, you did once.
I did once. Arsenal beat City, but City still won the league. Doesn't matter. It's a reference you might not get because he's not actually athletic.